This is the new for August 2024 Jack Wolf Knives Venom Jack. And man, I'm very happy they came out with another version of this because the first one that came out, I absolutely adored. This is the first one with that blue carbon fiber, with that blue purple swirl carbon fiber, an M390 blade, full height hollow ground with the machine satin, and nice broad Wharncliffe blade with the downward angled edge. Very, very nice, extremely useful blade, and I'm a sucker for the Wharncliffes. And as always, the original one had great action. Well, this one takes the cake. I mean, I love the one I was just showing, but I love this one like even better. First of all, the action on this is a little bit even more stout than the original, and as far as I'm concerned, it is perfect. It is absolute perfection for my taste for a slip joint. It's got a half stop where the spring sits flush, and then it snaps to each position crisply. There's no what do you call it? Slop. It doesn't kind of, yeah, it just goes crisply into each station. I love that. Great, great action on this. But what I'm so crazy about on this new version of the Venom Jack is this particular finish and colorway. When I first saw the advanced pictures of this, I was very excited for the random sort of flint-napped titanium version of it. Excuse me, I had to wet my whistle. And because it's something like that we haven't seen from Jack Wolf Knives. It is a bolsterless titanium knife with random napped pattern on it. Looks very cool. It has the blue hardware. That dazzled me, and I kind of overlooked this. And Ben, thank you so much, Ben Belkin, sent this to me, and I was so thrilled. Because when I was looking at the pictures, I was like, oh, carbon fiber, red carbon fiber, like that. But really kept going to that titanium. I didn't realize that this dark matter red carbon fiber, which in and of itself it's really nice looking, I think. Looks like a burl wood to me. But I didn't realize it was going to be next to these dark washed bolsters and this dark washed blade. I mean, I guess I saw that it was darker, but in the pictures, it kind of didn't do it justice. This is like an instant artifact. To me, it looks like something old, something modern and old, kind of steampunky maybe, without all the corniness. And it just, or you could see this, you could see JJ Gittes in Chinatown pulling this out and using it. It looks old, it looks new, something about it. I don't know, I'm just really crazy about this finish and colorway here. It's a really, really beautiful knife. Of course, as all Jack Wolf knives, it comes with this very sumptuous leather slip that I love. I love these slips, and they take on the shape of the knife, especially if you, in the first couple of days, put it in your back pocket, kind of presses the leather around the knife and gives you a nice impression. So that those are not snail trails that I put on. This is kind of a weathered look, and that's something I really dig. Okay, I never do this. I'm going to compare this to a modern knife. I keep thinking of, so I may as well just show it. And that is this, the Kaiser Mystic with its Rex 45 patinaing and its whaling pedigree. Of course, this was not used on whaling ships, but Mystic, as in Connecticut, Mystic, Connecticut, where whaling was centralized in the States, which whaling was a huge part of our industry here. And for some reason, these two knives I like together because they have a similar vibe. And it's sort of that old but new thing. S90V, fully hollow ground. This one is M390, and you see the grinder satin on this one. Beautiful. And you can see some of the changes that were made along the way. Look at the larger sharpening choil on the new version. The old one was pretty generous, but the new one is extremely generous. This one has a larger bolster with 3 flutes in it. This has a smaller bolster with a single flute. Same thing back here. The bolster, it's not like he crammed an extra flute or groove in the old bolster. He accommodated by adding more space, making a bigger bolster. And by he, I mean Ben, who does all the design work here. Look at that. Perfect matchup. These things are so nicely made. I want to know where they're made, but Ben does not reveal that. It's a part of his contract with whoever makes these things, but man alive, do they do an incredible job. And like consistent, I have, over 20 of these Jack Wolf knives. I have every one, one from every batch, and each one is really, it's like the same as before or better. Like action, build, stoutness. These things are really stout. Now, I haven't hard used most of my Jack Wolf knives, and by hard use with a slip joint, to me, that's going through a lot of cardboard, like thick cardboard. And I know that's probably not hard use to you. You might be scoffing because of my easy life or whatever. But to me, my case knives can't handle that kind of use without adding play. And then you have to knock it with a mallet and all that. These can. This sort of, let's see, this one I've put through the paces quite a bit. The Lanny's clip. I think because it's not a full height hollow grind, it makes me feel like it's more stout. And so maybe I've used this more for that reason. I also just love the knife. Very cool. And the Benny now. Yo. But this one, so you have one with green carbon fiber and a black blade. You have this one with the gorgeous dark matter red and the dark wash, sort of antique wash. You have that random napped titanium, and then of course there's always another one that I can never remember, but I believe it's a carbon fiber. I think it's a blue carbon fiber, like red, white, and blue kind of. But anyway, always 4 options, and they're always beautiful. And I know that Jack Wolf Knives has started doing some dealer exclusives, frequently with Ultim. Unfortunately, though, I can't remember which dealer it is. I should have looked that up before I started this. Don't quote me on it. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to give you the wrong answer here. But I love the shape of this Wharncliffe. I want to talk about that real quick before I let you go, because here, let's compare it to the more Viper style Wharncliffe. And what you see here is more of a parallel line with the edge and the spine. Here you see more of a dipping down of the edge. And I like that because it kind of accelerates the cutting as you pull material into this area. It becomes like a little triangle of cutting. And that's kind of like a recurve in a sense, the way it traps material in that triangle. So I really like that. Not only that, but as you sharpen this, and you can see with that generous sharpening notch and the very thin edge, even all the way up to that notch, it's very thin. You can sharpen this thing theoretically for a long time. And because you have more of a generous area up front, you'll still maintain a good looking and useful Wharncliffe shape, even as you sharpen through that dip down. Sort of like having a slight recurve on a clip point, like you see on a lot of traditional style knives. See that? Like that difference there is pretty interesting. Man, these are great knives. All right, so this is released on August 16th of 2024. Happy birthday, Liz. You know who you are. And happy birthday to all of us who love these knives. Oh, that was terrible. But this is definitely one worth saving up for. These are not inexpensive knives, but we all know that about Jack Wolf knives. But you do get what you pay for, and that is an exquisite knife. You get a really, really well-designed and perfectly manufactured knife. I'll say it. I used the P word. All right, so go check this out. This is the Venom Jack, second release from Jack Wolf Knives.